Spirit Airlines is going out of business. The airline said early this morning that it has begun shutting down operations. It's also canceled all upcoming flights.
If you haven't heard, Spirit Airlines just announced they are filing Chapter 7 and the entire airline is shutting down for good. If you have a ticket or you know somebody who does pay very close attention, getting your money back from this requires you to take specific action right now, and there are already people counting on you to skip those steps. Stay with me to the end, because the last 90 seconds give you the 5-step playbook that puts your refund back in your own pocket. Let me tell you exactly what this video is going to cover. The story most outlets are running with is about stranded passengers and employees, and that part is real and it matters. My focus stays one layer underneath that. The financial mechanism that activates inside the federal court system the second a company like this files Chapter 7. There is a government protection built specifically for this exact situation, and most passengers will use it incorrectly or skip it entirely. Within hours of the announcement, a second system also went live engineered to intercept whatever that protection was about to send back to you. Today, I'm walking you through both of them and the exact moves that get the right one to your account. To understand why this refund process requires action on your part, you need to understand one word: liquidation. Most airlines that hit financial trouble file Chapter 11, which lets them keep flying while they reorganize their debt, and that process keeps passengers protected because the company stays operational throughout. Spirit chose Chapter 7, which is a completely different legal animal. Under Chapter 7, the company stops operating immediately. A federal trustee takes over and starts selling off assets, and the proceeds get distributed in a very specific legal order. Most passengers have never been told where their name sits on that list, and that knowledge gap is exactly what the people running these refund scams are counting on right now. Chapter 7 distributes money to creditors in a specific legal order called a waterfall. The first tier covers secured creditors like banks and aircraft lenders who hold collateral against the company, and they get paid before anyone else touches the money. After them comes Tier 2, which covers employees with their wages and benefits protected by a separate set of federal statutes. The final tier covers unsecured creditors who sit at the bottom of the list without collateral or any dedicated federal protection coming their way. That last category is where a ticket holder lives under federal bankruptcy law, and by the time the court works down to that tier, there is often nothing left to distribute. Hear me clearly, cyber heroes. That same legal ordering applies to every airline that has ever filed Chapter 7 going back through the history of this country. There is one mechanism that pulls you out of that line entirely, and it operates completely outside the airline and outside the bankruptcy court. Here's what's actually happening right now while most passengers are still hunting for a working customer service number. Spirit's phone lines have already been disconnected, and the app is offline, and the official channels passengers depended on for years have effectively disappeared overnight. The window between a company collapsing and passengers realizing they're on their own is the most valuable 72 hours in the entire fraud calendar. Within hours of the announcement, fake Spirit Airlines refund portals started showing up in Google search results, with convincing domain names and branding pulled straight from the real site. Fraudulent customer service numbers got listed in Google before Spirit's own support infrastructure had fully gone dark. Treat every phone number that surfaces in a Google search right now as suspicious until proven otherwise. The urgency is real, and at the same time, it's being manufactured deliberately by people who profit from your panic. Before I show you the exact mechanism that pulls you out of that creditor line, do me a favor and hit subscribe. If this kind of breakdown is what you want to see every week, YouTube will put it directly on your homepage, and that's how you get ahead of the next one of these while there's still time to act. Here's what I told you to stay for. The Department of Transportation has a federal rule that operates completely independently of any bankruptcy proceeding. It requires airlines to issue cash back to your original payment method for any canceled flight. Spirit canceled every single flight on their books the moment they filed, and that DOT rule applies to every one of those tickets automatically. The rule lives at the federal level, which means it carries the force of law on its own, with or without any cooperation from the airline. Most passengers have never heard there is a second mechanism running in parallel with the DOT process that operates completely outside the federal court system as well. Using both of them correctly in the right order significantly increases the probability of getting your money back into your account. The second mechanism is the dispute process inside your credit card issuer, which the industry calls a chargeback on the grounds of service not rendered. This entire process is governed by your card network, whether your card runs on the Visa or MasterCard system, and it operates under network rules that exist independently of any airline or any bankruptcy court. The court controls what the airline is allowed to pay out, and your card issuer retains full authority over what it disputes on your behalf. Now pay attention to this part, because this is where most people get stuck. Your chargeback window is typically 60 to 120 days, starting from the original purchase date, which is the day you bought the ticket itself. If that window closes before you initiate the dispute, that mechanism disappears permanently. Filing a DOT complaint and initiating a chargeback at the same time creates a federal record and a financial dispute simultaneously, and that combination is significantly more effective than either one of them used alone. Now, before I give you the exact steps I have to show you the one thing that will permanently close both of those windows if you do it first. Right now on social media and across search results, there are services offering to handle your Spirit refund for a fee. And they look legitimate on the surface with professional websites and references to the DOT process by name to give them credibility. The real damage shows up after you pay them when they take possession of your booking information and your payment data. That category has a specific name inside the fraud world. It's called a recovery scam, and the entire business model targets people who have already been victimized once, which is why panic and urgency are the emotional triggers they design around. Here's exactly how the playbook runs and how to keep it from reaching you. Take the fake portal first. Its job is to harvest your booking data so the operators can manufacture future fraud against your identity weeks or months down the road. The fake support number runs a different angle by confirming your identity through whatever you say on the call and feeding that information into a database for resale and future targeting. The recovery service is the most aggressive variant of the bunch because it either steals your fee outright or intercepts your legitimate refund by inserting its own contact information as the primary filer on your DOT complaint. These channels share the same 72-hour window, and they run on a single design pattern that should be exposed cyber heroes. The word help across all of these conversations does the same job that the word safe does when a scammer tells you they are moving your money to a safe account. That word borrows legitimacy from a real concept and uses it to lower your guard at the exact moment you most need it up. The actual path forward lives inside the specific steps, and here they are. Here's exactly what to do in this order. Step 1, skip every phone number that surfaces in a Google search and go directly to spirit.com by typing the URL into your browser by hand. Avoid clicking any link from search results because the top results in the next 72 hours have a high probability of being fraudulent. Step 2, pick up your credit card and call the number printed on the back of the card itself, which connects you straight to your card issuer. Use these exact words: "I need to dispute a charge for a service that was not rendered." Step 3, have your documentation ready before you make that call, which means your booking confirmation number along with your original travel dates and the dollar amount that was charged to your card. Step 4, file a DOT complaint at .gov/airconsumer, which creates a federal record that backs up your chargeback if your card issuer asks for additional documentation later. Step 5, keep your wallet closed when anyone offers to handle this process for a fee because the entire process is free at every level of government, and any service charging you to file on your behalf is running a recovery scam by definition. Recovering your own money should always come at zero cost to you cyber heroes. What happened to Spirit Airlines is going to happen again with the next airline that hits the same financial wall, and the pattern travels with it. The sequence is a chain that starts at liquidation and runs through the unsecured creditor problem and ends at the fraud wave that fills whatever gap remains. Now you have the order of operations in your hands while most people are still figuring out where to start. If this video saved you or somebody you know, send it to them right now and put the next person in line on the safe side of this thing. Subscribe and stay close, because I post every week and YouTube will put the next breakdown directly on your homepage. Everything I cover is documented.